Sweet boys, a bit of basics about why house prices go up, sometimes down, but generally go up. So, Nationwide do a house price indicator online that can show you that the records go back to 1973. So where is it? So that's where that's where we're going to start today, 1973. And I've gone for the East Midlands, but the UK as a whole, all the data's on there. So in 1973, the average house price was 8,600. That sounds pretty cheap, but anyone working around that time was only earning £2 a year. Now the average house price is pretty much 190, with the average wage at 30,000 a year. So affordability back then was about 4 times your wage. Now it's 6 1/3 times the average wage to buy in the East Midlands. So people sometimes say, "Oh, it can't keep going up. I'm going to wait for it to come down." Like it's an iPhone, you know. When they've been out a new house, it doesn't make the old ones. It's not like that. It's not like that. So they're going to wait for it to come down. I think you'll be waiting a long time, other than your marginal little gains. But it's a fair point if you say how high can they go, because if affordability is squeezed at 6.3%, and that's East Midlands, you know, the average house price in London's like 460 grand. So for them it's a lot more than that, probably 12 times, 15 times. So what's affecting all of this what's affecting this rise? So in the UK we've got a real big supply and demand issue. England's quite small as far as some countries go, and the population is skyrocketing. We've got the immigration people coming over, we've got people living longer, people are divorcing, no one likes their mum and dad anymore, and we just all want our own space, you know, so there's a lot of demand for the same amount of supply. Plus with all this greenbelt area and all this sort of stuff, no one can build houses as quickly as they want to, and certain planning permissions and all this stuff, it is keeping it quite a slow process. So anyway, all of them things affecting the value of property. And if you're looking at it as an asset class, and do I want to put it in that or buy bits of shit from China and sell them on eBay, then this is something that's, if you look at the factors about this, one, it is in demand. Who doesn't, other than tramps, who doesn't live in houses, you know, like everyone basically. And then, are we going to continue doing that? I'd say so. With all the factors mentioned, are we still going to have big population stuff? Unless we have a massive war or some big stinker in the UK, I'd imagine people are going to want to come over here. Politically, we're very stable. You know, it's fair. It's a good country to live in. There's a lot of industry, and it's not declining by any way. It's definitely a forefront in the as far as European countries go. So yeah, it's got a lot of people that want to live here. That aside, right, one thing that here in properties doubles in value every 10 years, and this is quite important to know, because in the East Midlands that is true. So 8,600, so let's say that's 8.5, yeah, so that will go up to 17, yes. Then it's 34, yeah. Then it's 68, then it's 132. So you can see we're above the curve on all of these. This is still 3 years off that 10-year point, so we're going to discount that. But if that's got to grow about 70 grand in the next 3 years for that to be true, we don't know whether it will, but it has done so far. So there seems to be a lot of stability in property. One thing I want to mention as well is inflation. So inflation since the 1970s has averaged at 3.86%, with the highest bit in 1975 being 24%. So the government can inflate the economy, input cash into the economy, yeah, and that can, because if they just need cash to pay another nation or something, they can actually just print it, and just it makes it a lot cheaper, because they've just brought that money out of nowhere. But what that means for the overall pot is that pot shrunk by a certain amount. So let's say they inflated the economy in that 24%. Let's say they put 24% more cash into the economy. So if you're sitting there with 100 grand, they've just inputted a whole 24% of money into the economy. So your money's now just shrunk in value by 24%. So it still says 100,000, but the buying power of it, because more stimulus has just gone in, the buying power of it's dropped, and you've been seen off. So it's never not. It's always good to have money, but over the long term, you're going to get seen off. So that 100 grand the next year. So say that 100 grand, and we just stuck at 4% average throughout the time from 73. I'm not going to do all of this, but after year one, it's 96, then it's 88, then it's going down to 84, isn't it? That's not right, is it? I've messed up there, but you get the point. It's absolutely eating away at all your cash, and your cash still says 100,000. So this is actually your friend. If you bought the house, if your nan bought that house in 1973, slightly below average at 8 grand, she put 2,000 deposit down, and then she had a 6 grand mortgage. She didn't pay anything off that mortgage, which was a big deal back then. That's 3 years wage. She didn't do anything about it, and that debt just got devalued and devalued because there's more money coming in. Then you're not gonna give a fuck, are ya? Look at it, 190 grand now. 6 grand in the grand scheme of things, you're absolutely laughing. So it is, if you're in property and got mortgages, when the inflation comes, I think you can sort of have a nice little smirk on your face, because you know that whatever it is, it's just slowly wearing away. It's just eroding debt over the term. So it's powerful having property. You know, you can really make some big changes over the time. And one thing as well, what other business can you just absolutely chin off, just board it up, come back 47 years later and it's gone up? If she died in that house and no one knew for that long, you know, it's not going to be worth 8 grand. It'll be more or less average. Might have to put a bit of work in, but there you go. So anyway, little chat about why property goes up in value. There's definitely some bits that I've missed, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it's just my understanding, lads, and hopefully I'll give you a good sort of steer on why property is good over the long term, right?